go over how to start your own sketchbook. So I'm giving out these kits with, I have like a multimedia book, and then I just have like the regular black books, and they come with brushes, glue stick, the last of these little buttons, sharpener, confetti, tissue paper. So, and then I give people an option to, if they wanted magazines for collaging, but that's something else. People could either wanted it or not, it depends. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff that you can do with it, and I also want to go over some of my old books to show you more examples of what I'm talking about. On this instructions list, I gave you a variety of ideas about how to start a sketchbook, monthly activities, and these are the samples that I'm going to go over right now. This one with the check mark here on the second page, that is how to use your Xenotype paper, and the Xenotype paper is in this black stapled little folder I made that's in the back of your book, and that is very light sensitive. So when you put it out in the sun with some flowers or some leaves, you want to put like some little stones on top to weigh it down, and leave it out there for 15 minutes. Then remove the things, go rinse it off, hang it up to dry, or just put it somewhere to dry. And then after, it creates a little print, and you can glue it into your sketchbooks. But I'll be showing you some of the samples that I have here. Yeah, so let's get started out with that. I'm gonna switch you guys around. Okay, so this is the sketchbook I'm going to be starting in a second, but let's go over some of my old sketchbooks. So the way that we can start a sketchbook, I gave you 3 different options here, 4 different options. Usually I like to start with the Polaroid if I can, but if you don't have a Polaroid camera, then you can just print a picture from your phone. The other way that you can start your book is by like a mantra, affirmation, a quote that you really like. Then you would draw it, you would decorate it. So here's this book that I started. I did some watercolor flowers, and then I cut them out and I put them in here. So if you get like a book that's like a drawing book that doesn't have paper that you can put wet material on, it's okay. You can buy a pad and then use the pad, cut out the images once you're done, and just glue them into your drawing book. I'm going to move this a little more so you guys aren't in my way. Okay, so here, that's one way to start. The other way is to do like a one-line drawing, and I'll demo a one-line drawing in a minute of something that you see. Like right in front of me, there's some beautiful flowers, so I could do a one-line drawing. And then on the side, I could write where I am currently, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Where am I in my life? So starting with the now is how I recommend that you start a book. So we also have like the monthly activities. Here I like to do indexes now. I started doing this for my books, and I leave these first 2 pages empty. So as I'm writing in my book, I'm writing what can be found in each page, and I'm also numbering them as I go throughout the book. It helps me because if I ever want to go back and I want to look for a certain something that I wrote at some point, I can easily find it. So here's another example of how I glued in a page I created. So then we get to the monthly activities that you can do. And this is to help you interact with your book more frequently. So, for example, drawing a calendar, you can use a ruler, or you can just freehand it. When I don't have a ruler, I just freehand it. And so then every day I come in and I take out every day. And then I also have like a little mood chart, and it keeps track of my moods, right? Usually I draw it, but if I'm lazy, I can do little stickers, and then I just write my mood: happy, relaxed, thankful. I have here moody, frustrated, normal, anxious, bored. The other thing that you can track besides your mood is like the amount of water that you intake, the amount of sleep that you intake, maybe exercise if you're trying to build habits, right? That will help you. And you can see also how it impacts your mood. For example, if you don't have enough sleep, of course that's going to impact your mood. If you're not drinking enough water, of course that's going to impact your mood. And then like a to-do list for the week or for the month. I just put like the things that are more crucial towards the top, and then I try to do something every day. So this is going to keep me inside of my book regularly. Another list that you could start is a good things list. So all of the things that happen to you throughout the week or the month, and just writing is like a gratitude list. Keeps you focused on being positive. Marking the month at the beginning of each month. So at the beginning of each month, I write the word and I decorate it. Sometimes I'll put images of things that I want to manifest that month. Sometimes I just write the name, and as the month develops, I'll put images that remind me of something, right? Now these days I do a lot of writing. I recommend that you do writing as well. A sketchbook isn't just about images. I think that if you write, you get to reflect, take notes. I love taking notes when I'm reading my books. This is like a little print that I picked up somewhere, Stickers. Here you have the month of January, things I want to manifest, right? Another calendar with the little cat stickers here. Here I did this watercolor painter and I glued it. So here we have an image. So here's an example of the Polaroid that I was talking about. If you don't have a Polaroid, like I said, you can just print one. Another easy thing to do, and I'll demo in a second, is how to do a mandala. So here we have a mandala. I love drawing mandalas. They're very relaxing and easy to do. Sometimes it could just be like a doodle. Sometimes I really get into them and I paint them in with my watercolors, which is like my favorite thing to do. Flyers. And here we have another month, right? Another calendar. This is how I start every month. It's like I write the month and calendar and mood chart, like for sure. Okay, let's move to another book. I want to do this one. Okay, so this page ripped out, so I'm going to glue that in. Here I united both things together. So this is the mood mandala. So every time, instead of doing a sticker, I added a color and like a figure to the mandala, and it starts becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's helpful to do it more with color than with stickers, because you can visually see how you are feeling, right? Don't forget to write like a little what did I call it? I forgot what it's called. Just like a little what each color and mood represents, so that you know what you're looking at, right? Quotes here. Here, this is a collage I did for a weekend that I went out, and so it's a good way to like describe an event or something that you've done through a collage. I like to do like sometimes when I don't want certain writings to be out and about, I'll do little flaps, and then when people flip through them, they don't really think about kind of opening it. They just want to look at the images. So it's a way of kind of maintaining my privacy in these books, which is something you want to think about depending about what you are writing in your books, right? More Polaroids. Here, this is a veggie stamp. So if you cut vegetables in half, I think this was like a lettuce. I used black ink, which is super cheap, and I stamped it. And I thought it looked like roses. So then I came in with like a yellow gel pen and then I collaged the rest. And this is a fun activity to do with kids. They do this at school a lot. And it's really easy to do. We use like bell peppers. Here it's like oranges. The oranges were a little wet, so the image got a little distorted. So you just want to make sure that you want to like dry them off. More oranges, citruses. This is like a chili. I think this was like a celery here, like the stem part. So the purpose of this is to not like really overthink it. I would like to keep it fun. There shouldn't be this pressure about creating. You just kind of want to see it as an experimental process. So the confetti that I gave you guys is for this particular project. So if you use a plastic bag, cut it down to your page. And you wanna, I use Polaroids, but you can use whatever, collage. I did like this marbling paper, and then they put the confetti in here. I cut like a lunch bag, the size of my paper, and then I just got this tape and I taped the edges down. So as you can see, the tape on this side. And large confetti is better because small confetti can like get out the corners if you don't like, you know, lock everything down properly. So that's what the confetti is for. More Polaroids. I love these. These are fun. Again, marking the month. Stickers. I love stickers. Little paper cutouts from like a scrapbooking stuff you can use. Cards. I use cards in here. These photographs, I print them from Costco sometimes. Stubs from shows, all of these things. And so as you can see, each book contains like a portion of my life, you know. Depending on how often you create in them, it might take you a month or a few months to get it done. And that's okay. There's no like rush. This whole book would be the project, right? Oftentimes people think they have to sit down and complete something. Not necessarily. You can come back to it again, having a reason to come back and paint and create. That's kind of the purpose of this. So index here. And here I did some mandalas. You see how I like to do them with watercolor. They're a lot more fun. And I will be doing a workshop soon. I'll talk to you guys at the end of this about where you can catch that workshop. Here, these photo corners I like to buy because if I want to take these out, I can. And I have, you know, stuff in here that only I know I have. Well, now you guys know I have it too. But that's a way to kind of keep your privacy in these books, because you never know who's might want to go through your book, you know. Especially as an artist, people be like, if they see me drawing, they'll ask, you know, oh, what are you drawing, right? And I will often stitch in postcards or stuff that I want to put in my book. I can just stitch them directly into my book. In this particular book, I was doing like tarot cards. So I was like trying to design my own, and then I got over it. But it was fun to do. I saw like a prompt on Instagram. They often have like writing prompts, journaling prompts, sketchbook prompts. So hop on one. It was like 30 days of some image of like drawing whatever you wanted. And I chose tarot cards. I think I made it like 15 days. But it was still fun, you know. Okay, so another mandala, postcards that I stitched in here. This was watercolor paper, so I could just do it directly in there. And I made my book. If you go to my Instagram, Sketchbook Junkie, you can find weekly prompts. Also, how to make some of these books yourself. Let's see. I have 2 more books. I like to do like for fortune cookies. Here I did like a little more drawing with markers. So it just depends what you get into. Sometimes, you know, you want to do pencils. Sometimes you want to do markers. It kind of switches around, you know, and as you can see too, like the shape of the book impacts what I create, right? And this is like a little Christmas tree. Okay. And then last book here, I want to show you more like the end of the book. Let's see. What else do I have in here? Mandala. Polaroids. These are doilies. Doilies are fun little envelopes. The envelopes, you can use envelopes in like paper bags to hold your things, and I'll show you in a second. So this is a way to like incorporate cutouts. So each page has different cutouts, and when they're layered, right, they create an image. And here I was tracking my water intake and my meditation. Okay, so let's start this book. So here is the book that I chose. First thing I want to do is like dress the covers. So that's another prompt, the inside and the outside. A way that I like to do it is to just like sticker everything. And the kit comes with the sticker, bright green skin. I also like to use, so we were talking about paperbacks and envelopes. Like a paperback like this, that where I give you your things, I would glue this in. So I'm going to glue this in, and you have a glue stick in your kit. And so what I keep inside my baggie is anything that I want to use in this book. So I might have clip outs, I might have pictures, stickers. And so when I am ready to create, I already have some stuff there that I can use. Especially helpful if you're not home where you have all of your materials, right? So in here, for example, I would put my confetti. I can store my sticker. If I'm doing collages, maybe I can stick things I want to use in there later, right? Etc., etc. And then here I would like sticker or draw something here. So that's my first step here that you can do with your new sketchbook. What I have here today is Tish. Shout out to Tish. She gave me a bunch of magazines for collaging. So I cut out some things, and I was thinking I was gonna make a collage here. So I like how this is downtown. So then I thought, cool, let me do a collage about all the things that remind me about downtown, right? Now for this particular cover, since it is plastic, what I'm gonna have to do is duct tape it down. So I could try to use the glue stick, but I don't think it'll stick. So let me show you some of the stuff that I decided to cut out. I cut out like roller skates, makes me think of Priscilla. A little painting, you know, makes me think of art, creating art. I saw these kids in like them with this little piece of artwork, makes me think about community. Drinks, trying to stay off the drinks, but it makes me think of drinks. Food, and then I saw these, it was making me think of Sarah and the vintage clothes she sells me. So I would stack this, and as you can see, you don't want to like glue things straight away. This is how people mess up with the collages, because then they're like, oh man, I want this to go here. You want to cut everything down and start playing with the composition first before you glue this down. Okay, so I'm not gonna glue this. I'll post it later so you guys can see what I did. I used to have this little doggy, makes me think of the little doggies I see out here. Okay, so page 1, how would I start this? Again, I would take a picture of myself. Where am I right now? I would write something, right? There's another one on here on the instructions que se llama palabras libres. So writing every word separated by a comma of what you're currently thinking or feeling. And you want to do this for 3 minutes. And then at the bottom, I like to write a little reflection. Okay, oh wow, I didn't realize I was thinking about this or feeling this or going through this, right? And so it's important to start with the noun. Another way, if you don't want to do that, do a quote, an affirmation, a mantra that you are currently into or that you want to be there to remind you every time you open your book, right? It sets the mood for the book. So then I would write here a quote, decorate it. I might or might not draw it, color it in right away. Maybe later I'll come back to it. You don't have to finish everything you start right away, you know? So let's say I wrote a quote here. Here I will leave for my index because, like I said, the first 2 pages I like to do an index. Oop, this marker doesn't work. Let's try this one. This one doesn't work either. That's okay. I got a pen. Okay, index. And so as I'm writing the book, I'll start 1, 2, 3, 4, and I could see what I'm writing. Okay. If you notice this multimedia book, on one side it'll have a texture and on the other side it'll be smooth. You can paint on both sides. The preferred side is the textured side. So if I want to paint on this side and then on the back I can write notes, do all my writing. That way I don't feel like I'm wasting the paper, right? Here I would draw a calendar. So where did I leave my calendar? Let me see. Here it is. So I'm going to start this for January. So I would use like a calendar. You can also like eyeball it. Do you have a pencil? No. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2, 3, 4. Oh, cool. 5, 6, 7. So that kind of works. So I eyeballed like each space. I could probably make this a little smaller. And I don't have a ruler, but I don't need a ruler. Again, I can freehand it. Okay, scrap this. I got a ruler. So what do? You mess up, kids. You cover it up. So you act like it never happened. I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, you can collage on top of it. So don't be afraid to make something that you dislike. Sometimes people are really afraid to do art because they're afraid that they're gonna mess it up, right? And there's no such thing. You just keep going till you fix it. You just keep going till you are happy with it. Don't ever feel like it's not fixable. Art is about being innovative and being creative and being a problem solver. Here's 7. Merna, ven poquito. Tráeme agua en un vasito, ¿no? Gracias. So I can show them how to use the tissue paper. Because this is a little plain looking. But I can use my tissue paper to spice this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on my calendar, it depends how many rows. Here, I'll show you. It depends how many rows I have. For January, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 here. But then since it's only 2 days, I'll just join these together and make these like half days. So I'll show you what I mean by that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I leave a little space on top to write the...
Can you do the calendar here or on the next page?
Either one. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, either one. And Priscilla's working on hers, so maybe she'll have time to show us at the end. So I'm just going to draw 4. So I'm going to go first down the middle and then go down the middle of those. So down this page, right? So then these 2 days are the days that are going to be half days. And then here, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then here it would be 1, 2 if I look at my calendar. Then here would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is what I mean by like half days. So I didn't write like an extra row where I would have all these days just blank. I'm using all of these space on my page. So I probably should have done my tissue paper before, but that's okay. Just so I wouldn't have like a plain paper. If you know, I gave you this in your kit, but let's say you don't have it. What can you do? Marker, watercolors, all of this stuff also works. So I'm filling these colors. Nice. And I'm gonna wet my brush. I gave you guys a round brush and a square brush. These round brush, they hold water here in their body on the bottom. These are more for like lines, like if I wanted to do like a straight line, right? If you got a bigger one of these, this is what I would use for this. But since in this particular kit, this is a bigger brush, I'm just gonna use a little water. And I'm just gonna dab it. And the color is gonna bleed through basically. So if you go on my Sketchbook Junkie page, I have a bunch of prompts. They're all numbered. And I post new ones every Monday. So I just talk about the different ways that I like to play inside my book. And I'm always experimenting, but like I said, there's like the stuff that I always do for sure, like marking the month, calendar, and a mood chart. Those are the things that I for sure include, and then everything else changes with my mood, with what I feel like playing with. So I'm going to put a little more water. I like it how it is, but just so you guys can see how this works. So maybe I could probably even reuse this. Hold on, let me move this around. And you see that way it doesn't look so plain, right? And I can draw some flowers in the background or something, decorate it. I like to use little stickers as I'm marking things I gotta do or deadlines. I'll put like a little sticker, next to everything to remind me. My favorite place to go buy stickers and all that stuff is like at Daiso. They have a bunch of stuff. I spend like so much money over there just buying nonsense for my books. And so this particular activity is used in art therapy for depression. For people that have depression, this is a good activity that is very healing for them, very distracting, and easy to do. So you can see how easy this is and how fun it is. The other thing you can do with the tissue paper is if you do it on a plain piece of paper, I would do the tissue paper, then I would collage on top. So there you go, January. And I just used like 3 papers, and you guys have all of these. Here, you want to use these? Look. Cool. So I'm letting this dry a little bit. The other thing I want to show you is how to start a mandala. Let me see, where can I do this? So since I'm just gonna put this on top so my page has a little breathing room. I put a little pin for you guys. The pin is to hold this down. So when you're on a particular page, more when you're going more inside your book, you want to clip it out, hold things in place. Okay, so a mandala. So mandala, I like to start with the little circle, like that. But it could be a diamond, it could be a star, I don't know, any shape that you want. And then I like to do like little designs and then bigger designs as I'm working myself out down. So for example, if I start with little petals. And the reason this mandalas are so therapeutic and so universal is because of the purpose of the circle. The circle represents basically everything. If we think about the shape of the earth, if we think about the shape of atoms, right? It is also the symbol of completion, all of these things. Now here, I like to break it up into 4. Like if I draw a line here, a drawing here, and a line here. Then you can see how I could do like petals. I could also break it even further, like that. If you want to really do like a precise one, you would do everything with a ruler. So with my ruler, I would do a giant cross, and then even a cross like this, and that will help me see gridded out more precise and better. But let's say you don't want to do all that, right? You just want to kind of flow with it, which is what I do. When I was in college, I used to draw mandalas all over my notes, and it just helped me focus. It helped me focus because I was doing something rather than just kind of sitting there. I could have been taking notes, but I mean, I was. But I was also working on these mandalas, and it made my mind active. Okay, kind of. They're a little proportionate, but that's okay. Just giving you an idea. It's also harder to work from this angle. Then from here, what I like to do is connect points. And this is just one way to do mandalas. There's so many ways. If this was a little more proportionate, these circles would look better. But just going with the flow here. Right? When I see kind of these valleys, I could also do something else here like this. So you can see how you start working your way outward. And this, I could use colored pencil on it. Like I said, I like to do watercolor. If you go to my page, you can see a whole bunch of demos. Here, I might want to do like some circles like this all the way around. Okay, just to give you an idea. Also, Google mandalas. There's so many online. There's like an app. I need to get this app because I see people make really cool mandalas with this app, and it uses a gridding system so that when you are drawing on one area, it multiplies it into each quarter, so it's easy to do. Okay, what else did I want to cover here? So 7 shapes. There's examples on my Instagram, but you would cut out 7 shapes, of course. I like to cut out more, 10, 12, and then from there choose which shapes I want to play with. I could cut it out of construction paper or out of magazine clippings, and then I start again playing with the composition. And once I find a composition that I like, I would glue it down. What else? Monochromatic. What happens if you only have one tube of paint? Well, first I would start with a value scale, and you can do this with the pencil too. It's a good way to train your mind. You want to do like a little oopsie. Again here, it's about 10. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I have 10 spaces here. So I would do this all the way down, and I would make a value scale, meaning that on one end I have white. I would just leave that one alone. And as I'm going down my value scale, it's getting darker and darker and darker till my last square, which would be completely black. So in the middle, you would have 50-50. As you're going lower, you're adding, it's like 60% black, 40% white, etc., etc., if that makes sense. And so that's a great way for those of you that want to expand your drawing skills. Oh, here's a pencil. You can use it. How do I take this out? So if you're a person that is really trying to expand your drawing skills, draw a grayscale. And then furthermore, I would cut it out. And that way when I'm working on a painting or a drawing, I can hold up my scale up to my painting and my drawing, and I can see where on this scale I am. I'm going to be doing some more workshops, and one of the things we're going to work on is expanding our drawing skills. I recommend that you set up like a shoebox, like cut one side down, put some fabric in there, grab an egg, put the egg in there and like a piece of ribbon, and then you have like a little still life, right? And practice using your pencil, practice working on the scale. You want to make sure that your whole scale is represented in your work. If you're too much on the light scale, then you got to push your darks. If you're too much in your darks, you want to push more of your middle grays. So the scale can help you do that. Okay, let's see. What else do I want to cover? We might be getting to the end of this. Yeah, I think this is all, which is plenty to start your book with. I didn't want to overwhelm you guys. Oh, here's another little book. This is the last book I had. Working on different size books and books with different types of paper really pushes you to use your creativity. You know, I couldn't really paint in here because it doesn't hold paint. That's okay. I can use markers for a little bit, right? I did glue in pieces. I did these watercolor paintings while I was in Joshua Tree, and I cut them down and I put them in my book. Here I have a little envelope with things I wanted to use. I didn't really get to use all this stuff, but that's okay. Stickers, mainly like little stickers and, you know, snippets and stuff. The other one I forgot to share with you is blackout poetry. So you want to cut out a piece of text, and then you would start covering with a Sharpie. Let me see, Sharpie. Most of the words like this. I'm just showing you. But you want to cover like 90% of the words, 98, just exposing the words that create some type of poetry. So then I would cut this down, put it in my book, collage around it, draw around it, going with the theme of my poem. All of these things are up on my Instagram if you guys have any more questions about that. Okay, let me flip you around so I can talk to you about where to catch me next. So I'm going to be doing, Museo is starting an art club. And the art club, it's called Sketch Club. I keep saying art club. It's called Museo? Sketch Club. Same thing. And I'm going to be doing them there once a month. We are trying to do things that you can use, incorporating things from inside your home. Like we were talking about the little, still life you can make in your house, right? But they will also be giving out materials for certain art activities that we want to do. And so I'm excited to announce that for you. It's going to be every fourth Saturday at 11 a.m. at Museo. And we'll put it in our stories. We post pretty regularly on our Instagram. I try to share stuff on there and where you can catch me. But that's where I'm going to be doing the workshops starting, I think, next month. There's one up right now that I did yesterday. If you go up there, it's about how to make like a little accordion book, and we're using it to reimagine our city, talking about William Camacho's work, which is up at Museo right now, and you can drive by and see it because it's installed outside of the building, which is really cool. I think that's the announcements for today. Priscilla wanted to show you her sketchbook.
No.
What? She's been working on it because we want to show you another example. Hold on, let me flip this. Let's see it, Priscilla. Cool, A+. I like it. It's very Christmassy. It makes me think of like snow.
Christmas?
Well, because of the blue. No, and it's December maybe. I don't know. It looks like winter, like snowflakes. Okay. Any last words, Priscilla?
That's the first time I've ever used these little papers.
Did you like it?
Yes.
It's fun, right? It's easy.
And hopefully people can start following you and doing the different activities. Because, I believe it's very therapeutic. Just you can meditate and forget about everything and just, try to do something fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great way.
Thanks, Adriana.
Thank you,
and
honey.
thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time at Conscious Culture Collective.
Yes.